class. Okay, so it's Monday. We're going to do what we always do on Monday. We're going to start with our vocabulary. Let's open our chubby books to page 294. Okay? We're going to see that we have 8 vocabulary words. The first one is tunnel. A chipmunk knows how to dig a tunnel, which is a passage underground. Number 2 is curled. The fox is curled up around its warm, bushy tail. Number 3, height. An eagle builds its nest at an amazing height. It is at the top of a tall tree. Toward. These bear cubs run toward their mother so she can protect them. Brag. These antlers are something to brag about. They are huge. Direction. An owl can turn its head in any direction. It can look all around. It's pretty cool. It can spin around. Healed. This pangolin will go back to the forest when it is well or healed. That's a pretty interesting looking thing. And tease. Never tease or bother wild animals. Always respect them. If you tease or bother them, they're going to react back to you. Okay, before we start with our story, let's look at our spelling words this week. I gave you a document in Google Drive, so if you have that document, we can go through it together. We've got tunnel, curled, height, toward, brag, direction, healed, and tease. Now, they should sound familiar because they're from our story. Those are the vocabulary words. Then I've added justice, respect, and kindness. Those are social studies words. And misspelled, rewriting, displeased, and replacing. Those are words from our phonics skill for this week. Okay, now, just like I normally do, I'm going to read you the pre-story. So you guys can't find this in your book. It's just in my book. And I will read that to you in 1 second. As soon as I find it. Too many pages in my book. It's called On Thin Ice. Shoney and his brother Toby lumbered lazily across the ice in the direction of the sun. The 2 polar bears were feeling a little too warm because the sun stayed in the sky all day and all night during the Arctic summer. Toby felt particularly mean today. I don't mean to brag, said Toby, but I'm much stronger than you. Toby often said things like this when he felt hot or grumpy. Shoney raised himself up on his hind legs, reaching his full height of 8 feet. You are not, he shouted. The brothers were just about to wrestle when Toby saw something strange. It looked like an ice tunnel. Carefully, the bears walked towards the strange sight until they could see inside. It was dark and eerie. I dare you to go in, said Toby. No way, I'm not going in there, answered Shoney. You're a scaredy bear, laughed Toby in a sing-song voice. Mom told you not to tease me, Shoney shouted. I'll show you. With that, Shoney started to crawl towards the tunnel. He took 1 step inside and disappeared out of sight with a swishing sound. A little scared, Toby curled up and wondered where Shoney had gone. While Toby waited for his brother to return, Shoney was getting the ride of his life. Inside the tunnel was a twisty blue slide. Shoney slid faster and faster, and as he flew down the ice, it got darker and bluer until he splashed into the coldest water he had ever felt. Looking up, Shoney saw that he was trapped under the ice. Help! He cried with a trembling voice. Toby heard Shoney cry. I'll go get Mom, he shouted, and ran as fast as he could to find their mom. Mom came and used her strong claws to carefully climb down the ice tunnel. Ever so slowly, Mom brought Shoney back up, using her sharp teeth to drag him to the top of the ice. Mom shook Shoney vigorously to dry their fur. As Mom continued to shake her fur, the bear brothers stood quietly. They knew they had broken one of Mom's rules. Never go in where you can't see out. Sadly, Shoney began to lick his paw. He had cut it on the sharp tunnel wall. Finally, Mom took a deep breath and spoke quietly. This ice is getting thinner every year, she said sadly. It's just not safe to crawl into ice cracks or tunnels. We'll be more careful from now on, Toby and Shoney said together. Soon, Shoney's paw healed, and he felt fine, but he never crawled into a mysterious ice tunnel again. Do you think they learned their lesson? We talk about bragging all the time in class, how it's really wrong to brag and make people feel bad. See what happens sometimes. Okay, now you guys are going to work on some phonics pages today when you start working during Google, before you meet me in Google Classroom. All right, so I want everybody to open up your books, your workbooks, and we're going to look at page 200 and, hold on, I lost 121. Sorry, I lost my place there. All right, it says base words and endings ed and ing. So this week what we're going to look at is we're going to look at how we have some words, and in order, they're verbs. Okay, let's take the verb jump. J-U-M-P. All right, in order to make jump the past tense, yesterday I jumped, I just need to add an ed, correct? Or you could say, right now I am jumping in the cold water. Just adding the ing, okay? That's how we can do it for a lot of verbs. Ed usually means it's the past tense, it already happened, and ing means it's happening now, okay? Now, let's look at some other verbs though. What about if I look at the word bake? Here's my verb, bake. Now, am I going to add another E and a D? Baked? I baked a cake? No. We're going to have to do something a little bit different. We're going to have to drop that E and now add our ED. I baked a cake. If you said, Mom is baking, no E, now we add the ing. So sometimes we need to take the E off before we add the new ending, okay? So let's look at a couple examples here together. All right, number one says, Mom is baking a cake for dinner. It says, read the sentences, draw a circle around each word that has the ED or ing ending. So it's baking, pretty easy. The base word is bake. The ending is ed. Number two, Dad closed the window when it started to rain. Let's circle closed, you're right. But notice, we had to drop that E. We don't want closed. Okay, you're gonna finish page 121, and you're also gonna go to page 123. Now, what you have to do here is read each word, then write the base word and ending on the line. Okay, so look at number one. We had the word hoped, but the base word is hope. That's your base word. And then we added the ed. What if I did this instead? What if I said, this is my base word? That's not hope, that's hop, right? We don't want hopped, we want hoped. So on the first line, you're gonna write hoped plus the ed. Now remember, we know that we're gonna have to drop the E before we add it. Look at number two, skating. So we had skate, okay, plus, now I'm gonna cross these E's off because we're gonna drop them. ing for skating. Okay, you're gonna finish these pages before you see me. Now in 123, you're gonna use the word up on the top to fill in the sentences up below. Ling blank, she would get a puppy. I think it's gonna be Lynn hoped. What do you think? Okay, that sounds good to me too. Okay, now before you meet me in Google Classroom, you're gonna finish the 2 workbook pages and put your spelling words in alphabetical order. Okay guys, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.